I'll let you know that I got a lot of hate for my takes on nu metal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, probably specifically about the Deftones, huh?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be about that. I thought people were going to be like, hey, man, where's Creed? And
I got a lot of hate for you through your opinion of the Deftones. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Jojitorium.
Well, I think remember too. Whenever we found the German Scheiser porn.
Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's
Yeah. That's all it is.
The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face.
Got right in front of you.
Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys, and we are solidifying our nicknames. Welcome to the ring, Poppy Gordito and Daddy Mass.
Hola, muy chubby.
Well, it's that time again for the reigning, defending, homebrew champion of the Berg
Not for long.
to make his return to the North Hills Homebrew Festival. Scheduled for Saturday, August 26th, some of the best homebrews in the area come together at the Pittsburgh Shrine Center in Cheswick to square off for supremacy. This event has everything the craft beer nerd can want. A brewer's challenge, 50-50 raffles, basket raffles, and so much more. And here's a breakdown of the action. VIP tickets are clocking in at $45, general admission at $25 if you get your tickets early, and they're $35 at the door. And those DDs, you wonderful people who take us drunk people to and from events, your tickets are $5. TicketTailor.com has everything you need to get a ticket. Just make sure you search out North Hills Homebrew Fest 2023, or just check out the site details in this episode's show notes. Come cheer on Bash Brew and support craft beer in Pittsburgh, but just make sure you tell them all that the boys sent you. So, Adam, we have a ton of stuff to get into. We're back up in the saddle.
We are.
I feel
Look
good.
at that. We made it 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Woo.
I'm stable.
Woo. By the time you're listening to this, we definitely survived Barrel and Flow.
I hope so, because otherwise this is going to be a weird episode for people to listen to. So we have a huge amount of stuff to get through. We actually have 3 rounds of beer to get into. So, Adam, you went out and talked to some of our friends in the local craft scene. You brought home some delicious brews in the Jojitorium. So it is round 1. You brought some beers. Put it together. Call it round 1 beers. What are we drinking?
We got a new offering fresh off the presses. I was the second person in line for it. The Parfait Sour from Abjuration Brewing. Old friends of the podcast, current friends of the podcast. We're all making the connections again. And this one is their Parfait Sours switch up as they go through their different versions, as Abjuration does. This is their Parfait Sour version 1.3, which is a sour ale with yogurt, honeydew melon, almond, and granola.
Wow.
Coming in at 4.5%.
That's quite a combination.
And we get the sound effect.
That's a fresh can. And if you want to go with Abjuration, all you got to do is search them out on all social media. It's Abjuration Brewing. And you can find them down in the Keys Rocks location. They have decent hours, and they have a bevy of great food trucks that come through. And if you stay there on Fridays, you can actually catch some open mic comedy that sometimes the thick boy over here likes to jump in on every once in a while. Abjuration is a staple here in the craft beer scene in Pittsburgh, and we are so happy to continue to feature their beers here, and that they still want us to talk about their beers on our podcast.
Yeah. And in addition, they have a new outdoor space that they keep updating regularly that's dog friendly, so take the doggos out. Wow.
Just drank that bad boy, and let me tell you, it delivers. That's a shot to the back of the mouth right there, dude. That sour is a spike. I love it.
They do some of the best sours. I did say do. They do some of the best sours in Pittsburgh for sure. If you like them tart.
Yeah. This delivers on the tartness scale.
That is odd, man. I get the granola. I get the yogurt. Get the honeydew, which is I thought was a strange option. Wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but I really like it.
That's a hard melon to work with,
too. It goes good with the sour tartness.
Very, it's a very wet melon. So yeah, it's kind of probably
I
hard.
like my melons wet.
I do like my melons.
Yeah, it's a
wet.
watery melon, so to get the actual flavor without diluting it, I would think would be tough.
Yeah.
Kind of like watermelon.
Yeah, very reminiscent there.
But even with less flavor, you kind of think honeydew.
Yeah,
You think it is a very subtle flavor, but it's coming through.
I love it, man. Great job, Abjuration, and we may see more from you later on.
I'm gonna wet Matt's melons.
So we're definitely going to do that when we review some combat sports news. So from Buckwood to Bell to Bellator and back, the boys bringing the best combat news in the biz.
Boom! No two takes this time.
I'm one take Tommy right now. Jake Paul defeats Nate Diaz in a dominant unanimous decision. Listen, we all had high hopes here for the Stockton native to do the unthinkable. He did come in as an underdog. Listen, from the moment that bell opened, you could tell there is a boxer in Jake Paul who had training for stand-up boxing, and Nate Diaz who has training and is whooping bitches in the street and did not translate. It was clear Diaz, absolute animal in the UFC, just could not match up with the size and power of Jake Paul. The first body hook you saw within the first minute of the first round, and it buckled knees on the Diaz side. I already knew that he was in trouble. But highlight of this whole entire thing was Nate Diaz's chin. That dude can take punishment.
He took punishment even at an older age. He's not old by any means, but for combat sports, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he stuck through it. I just think he's good stand-up MMA, but his focus is the ground. Like jiu-jitsu's his bread and butter. So to step into a boxing ring was quite a feat in the first place.
Yeah.
And then Jake Paul. Of course, Disney Channel kid, make fun of him as much as you want, but
Yeah.
he's been training boxing for years now, so
Yeah.
he's approaching legitimacy.
Yeah.
I guess.
There's still the cries for ranked WBC fighter. We kind of saw what happened whenever Jake Paul did go up against a WBC class-esque fighter in the Fury brother. And you could tell Paul had a run for his money. There was a little more sweet science on the Fury side of the ring. But, yeah, dude, Jake Paul, he's young. He's powerful. You could tell he's training. And Nate Diaz.
Jacked.
Yeah, absolutely. But the cool thing about it is Jake Paul did say he would run it back with Nate Diaz in a cage if it ever would happen, probably in the PFL. But Nate Diaz has gone on record to say he has no interest in going to the Pro Fighter League.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, why would you?
I don't think
No.
I don't think they'd pay what
No.
Diaz wants or deserves. So
Speaking of money, Paul versus Diaz is now known as the second most betted on boxing match in DraftKings history. Not only did Drake place a $250,000 bet on Diaz, thousands of bets were placed on this contest alone. Early reports have this match estimated to have pulled twice as many bets as the last UFC fight, which, if we go back and look, that was a pretty heavy card.
yeah, that was one of the better UFC cards in recent history. So
Yeah.
that is pretty impressive.
Most certainly. The other thing that's very impressive here are the payouts. Jake Paul, of course, took a bit of a blueprint from Floyd Mayweather and started his own production team. So all the fights you see with Jake Paul, past I think like since the third Triller fight, it's under Jake Paul's production team. So Jake Paul got $2 million on the fight purse, plus he's getting promoter wages, plus he's getting all of a piece of the merchandise and some other things.
And the buys and
all of
that,
it, yeah. So he's estimated somewhere around $20 million for that bout. Nate Diaz, no slouch to the game, and learned some from Conor McGregor on how to argue for a better contract on a big startup fight. He got $2 million as well in the fight purse. He also got pieces of the gate, merchandise, and he got some of the pay-per-view buys. So he's estimated around $10 million.
Nice.
The caveat to all this, though, too, Adam, is that these are very rough and reportedly low estimates. So if this is the basement where these guys could possibly have ended up, I'm happy that Nate Diaz got paid.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't into it. I wasn't going to buy it on pay-per-view, but those pay-per-view buy numbers do take a couple weeks to get in. So those are definitely estimates as far as like their percentages of the pay-per-view buys.
I'm excited to see where the pay-per-view numbers are, and whenever we do get those, we'll drop them in another episode so we can kind of see more of like a solidified number of what they got.
Yeah, and see which way they're trending. We'll
Yeah.
throw in like maybe the last two in this one and
Yeah.
see what's going on.
Yeah, man. Other thing too, one of the biggest things to take away from a Jake Paul influenced card is he really does spotlight female boxing. Amanda Serrano, like her match was lights out. She fought against a scrappy young up and coming boxer, and it was, if you want to see the height of women's boxing, watch Amanda Serrano. That woman
Very technical.
just decimates people, and
Pieces
it was,
people apart.
it's amazing. So for all the things that we may not like about Jake Paul, he is putting a good spotlight on women's boxing, which is fantastic. Which brings us to impromptu questions from the internet. This was pretty cool, putting this out there. And friend of the podcast, Josh Scar from the Talking SMAC podcast, and you can catch new episodes from that podcast every week on your favorite podcast platform. He asked some very super relevant questions with respect to the Paul versus Diaz fight. So, Adam, I pose to you.
Ooh, it's like combat questions from the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I like it.
What do you guys think of these novelty boxing cards where the Paul brothers constantly have rumors of paying off opponents? Adam, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean the payoff thing is always out there in the ether, and I think regardless of there being payoffs or not being I mean I think the Diaz fight did some good to kind of quell those rumors. It didn't look like he was taking a dive or not trying at any point. It just looked like he was outmatched for the most part. I think the bigger problem is the novelty of it. Like you can only pull in so many retired, older, on the edge of retired MMA fighters to fight in your boxing matches before it gets stale. Like, you already did it with Woodley, now you got Diaz. A little younger, a little more current maybe, but,
Yeah,
I mean, Askren was a joke.
absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I mean, they're trending in the right way, but eventually the shine's going to wear off that attraction, and you're going to have to find somebody legitimate.
Yeah, I think that's 100% on the nose. I think when we saw the Fury fight where it went to decision and Paul lost, when there was a lot of rumors of there being a dive clause in the Fury contract, which everyone disputed, and it was eventually debunked to a degree, but there was still some mystery to it. This Diaz fight really just highlighted two different fighting styles that came together, and in that environment, Diaz just didn't have the ability to match up with the things that make a boxer, because you can get big, you can get powerful, but you can't teach speed and you can't teach footwork like that. Like you could just see where Paul was moving around a lot. He had a lot of great movement. He was getting offline. He had good defense. And the problem with Diaz's approach is he has a very like freestyle fighter's loop to his punches, so they're kind of easy to telegraph, and that's what left him open for that. And I can't say this enough: that devastating body shot in the first round, it hurt me. I think I still have diarrhea from watching it. It was a blast. Again, yeah, novelty's gonna wear off. You gotta fight someone that has a WBC rank, or you got to get someone who's real hungry, that wants to come off of amateur.
Or someone hungry off of amateur, or a younger MMA guy that like has some sort of background in boxing. Yeah, you got to change the formula up a little bit.
Yeah, not a ton. I mean, I like I said, I have to go back to the female fights on the card. They're fantastic. I think they're well matched.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm no promoter. In my mind, I wouldn't have thought this fight would have done better than the Woodley fight because it's kind of a similar thing. I think you had the benefit of Diaz being a bit of a trash talker, although he wasn't doing much in the press conferences and stuff leading up to this that were like put on by the promotion. But like on his social media and stuff, he was talking it up.
Oh yeah,
they talked it up a bunch before the fight got signed. So I think Diaz kind of helped that along. If you get somebody else in there like a Woodley or an Askren that doesn't really talk shit it might suffer.
Yeah, agreed. Second question here, from an integrity standpoint, how do you guys take in these fights? And furthermore, does it hurt the public perception of combat sports? And lastly, is bringing more eyes to a product, does it help it in the long term, or is this just a short-term novelty spike?
Lots of questions.
Yeah.
From an integrity I'll go from the integrity standpoint. How do I take on these fights? I take them online after the fact because I think they're a joke for the most part.
Yeah.
But it's something I want to see. But I don't think there's any integrity in it. I don't until after the fight. Like I'll say after the fight, that Diaz-Paul fight looked decent. Looked like there was no payoffs, no dives. But I'm not going to take it seriously. I think it does hurt the public perception of combat sports when you have Woodley going in there and just taking a freaking shot to the side of the face.
Yeah.
And falling. Like that looked rough.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's great for the public perception. Your naysayers are just going to double down on naysaying it. And your people that are into it are either going to watch it or ignore it, I think.
Yeah.
But then for the third point, long-term or a novelty spot, I think it might be a long-term help to other promotions. Like somebody might get into this fight as a Jake Paul fan and be like, oh, what's Diaz all about? Oh, UFC. And but I mean, how rare is it to find somebody that doesn't know about the UFC at all?
Yeah,
I feel like at this point you're either into it or you're out of it. So I think maybe it is just a novelty spike. I think at this point, like anybody that's into boxing is into it, unless you're hitting real young kids. That I don't really know Jake Paul's demographic as far as YouTube goes, or any of his podcasts or anything. Like maybe you're getting some teens in that way. I don't know. But other than that, as far as adults, I don't think you're getting anything but a novelty spike.
I think you're on point with that last one there too, because at this point the Paul brothers can work in tandem a little bit with that, like bringing in some fresh eyes. So I think it is a short-term spike that if they use it the right way, it can develop into a long-term sustaining boon to combat sports. If you not just riding the wave for your own personal gain, but making that wave last to bring attention to other things. Like when Jake Paul's talking about going to PFL, he's talked about going, and people are like, Jesus Christ, he's going to get into a cage. And that spiked all this interest for PFL. He hasn't done much with it, but PFL, I mean, they were trending on Twitter for 2 solid weeks after that to see what he was going to do. When it comes to how I take in these fights, much like you, I usually try to find the highlights after. I did watch this one. Guys wanted to see Nate Diaz. I love Nate Diaz.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
I am a big fan of Nate Diaz. I love his stuff, bro. It hurt me inside a little bit to watch him take that body shot. That was tough. But I think this doesn't hurt the perception of combat sports any more than how bad Pride kickboxing has fallen, or Rough and Rowdy.
Yeah, but you're just kind of bringing, Rough and Rowdy's still going on, but you're kind of bringing that Pride shadiness, for lack of a better term, into a new era.
Yeah.
That kind of is affected our generation, but now you're just sustaining that into the new fans.
I'm definitely dragging it along, because that was when I would watch a Pride card, I was like, there's definitely dudes with slicked over balding with weird sunglasses, smoking cigars, going punch him in the dick. That's all I thought about, was just greasy, sweaty, fat guys throwing dollar bills into a ring, like Wanderlei Silva, throwing 12-6 elbows on a guy that's 40 pounds lighter than him.
And they're both just jacked on every steroid they can find.
They were eating anabolic steroids from a milkshake dispenser. They just put them into the ring together. So I don't know. I mean, there's to bring levity to it. I think, again, to go back to say if they use it the right way, it could work if they decide to use the wave to support other people. But as we're finding out through a bunch of other things, if you don't support the wave, then the wave just goes away.
I do like your point of, if this wave goes into a different combat style, it could help wherever it goes. If it goes to a PFL or a UFC or a different, anything other than boxing, I think it could help. Just the attraction of Paul needing a ground game or getting in a cage would bring eyes for that one. I still think that's a novelty spike, but it would just be a higher spike somewhere else. But might get new eyes into the product that way.
What was remember Jones versus Couture? It's kind of the same idea. Can boxing match up with MMA? And we saw both ways now with Paul and Diaz, and now when it was Jones, and the styles don't match up. So that's why I want to see it kind of support the other side.
Tony, by the way, not Jones.
I apologize.
James Tony.
James
you were thinking
Tony.
James.
I was.
James Tony.
Yeah. I was thinking, yo.
You said Jones, and I started racking my brain. I was like, It's not Jones, but it was somebody. Yeah, Tony. Yeah, James Toney versus Couture.
I'd say what James Toney.
Dude, that thing sold
yeah,
pay-per-view buys though.
yeah, it did.
Everybody just wanted to see James Toney get his head bashed in.
Can I say though, when Tony was landing those shots, Couture's face looked like a piece of beat up steak.
Okay, we're going to the ground now.
He's like, we gotta go to the ground. All right, Adam. We are in round 2. You procured more beers from Abjuration. Put that all together. What we call it? Round 2 beers.
I jumped the gun for once.
What do we got?
So I went just intending to get the first round beer from Abjuration, but then I saw they canned up their Barrel and Flow collab, which is a double IPA with pineapple and something else. You stole the can, so I don't know what's in it.
I will tell you right now that this baby is brewed with Nectron, Lotus, and Sultana hops, and is conditioned on pineapple and red dragon fruit. This bad boy is clocking in at 9.1% ABV, so it is not a slow sipper, and this is their official Barrel and Flow collaboration.
Yeah, it is called Beer du Jour, and it was done as a collab with Giorno for Barrel and Flow. So if you missed it at Barrel and Flow, and you're listening to this now, it's on draft and in cans down at Abjuration. Go grab it. Might be sold out by the time you're hearing this. So hurry. And holy crap, Matt's pouring it out in the colors. Oh, the colors.
It's beautiful.
The red dragon fruit, I would guess, took over because it is red.
It is beautiful.
It's not fuchsia. It's not pink. It's not orange. It's red.
It looks like Kool-Aid.
It does look like Kool-Aid. The red flavor.
Yeah, it tastes like red. Oh,
I smell the hops smell great.
wait till you take that sip, though, because you're like thinking, because it's 9.1%, and it doesn't play well. It doesn't play like that. That's not fair.
It's assaulting my whole tongue.
It's a 9.1 that's like that. That's not fair.
That ain't right.
No.
Yeah, there's no real like alcohol burn.
No.
Not that there should be. I mean, it's just well done.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth. Nice and hoppy. Still got some bitterness.
Yeah.
But still got the fruity. Holy cow. That's complex.
That is.
I got no other word for it. That's complex.
I don't know how else to say it. Abjuration. Welcome to the Home Run Club.
Kudos. I'm glad I grabbed both of these cans. I mean, the sour was great, but this is
a banger.
I've never tasted something like this before. I've also never tasted yogurt and granola in a beer before, so man, they're not kidding.
It's a whole room of firsts over here.
Them putting their beers in like scientific flasks and stuff ain't a joke.
Yeah.
They're experimenting.
This is legit.
They're doing legit experiments down there. Go down there and try their beers out.
Melt your fucking face version 1.0.
Keys Rocks, Broadway Theater. Get it.
Speaking of new stuff, Adam, one of the things that I always hear about
this is good.
One of the things I hear about our podcast is people didn't want us to go through an entire wrestling card. So,
good. Neither did I anymore.
So, Adam, we are going to do SummerSlam, but we're going to do the good, the bad, and the botch.
What did you think of the pre-show 20-man Rumble Royal?
People went over the top rope and nobody else came back in.
I didn't know the Viking Raiders were going to go over first.
So, Adam.
Don't have to fake that shit anymore.
If you could, Adam, by looking at the card, can you tell me what you felt was the highlight of the whole thing?
So my highlight of the night was in match number 2, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I liked how dominant Brock was, the story they told where he basically kept throwing Cody out of the ring and basically breaking him, saying, take the 10 count out. Just take the count out, live to fight another day, or I'll break you. And he just kept punishing him worse, until Cody made the comeback. It was pretty sudden, pretty abrupt, and won the match.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just really well done. Nothing, no punches looked pulled. It looked legit, got me invested. That's what I want to see.
I really enjoyed that. I loved the show of camaraderie at the end, too, which was, they tried to say it was unscripted, but there's no way it's unscripted.
I don't know. Cody isn't that good of an actor. He looked pretty shocked by it. He did look legitimately shocked. I think Brock at least let somebody in the back know, but maybe didn't let Cody know. But yeah, that was cool.
Speaking of shocked.
And he got little Brock out for a little bit.
I saw that, dude. His pants just kept disintegrating.
I saw his penis.
He got those TikTok dissolving swim trunks.
Yeah.
I saw little Brock out there.
They got a little sweaty and he was
melting. I'm watching that match twice. So speaking of surprised, my good is Io Sky. She came out to cash in the women's Money in the Bank, and she pinned Bianca Belair in 8 seconds. So, but there was a great match beforehand with Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair, which we all thought Charlotte Flair was going to win that one. Bianca Belair pulls out the win. We think she's going to reinvigorate her character, and then here comes Io Sky coming out.
Back to obscurity.
Back to obscurity. But I think she's going to join the Street Profits in their little heel game they have going on with Bobby Lashley. So it might be a good thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
For a little Survivor Series match, maybe.
I'm liking
it's coming
it.
up. Yeah, that would probably be my second choice. I do like the decision. At the cost of Bianca, my favorite.
Yes.
I do like that they put the title on Io Sky.
Yeah.
And I thought that
good
women's
run.
match was good, too. The
Yeah.
triple threat was decent. It was a little clunky, like a little few awkward pauses at the beginning, but they got it moving pretty quick into
The
that.
close-up of Asuka hitting Charlotte Flair in the face with the mist is great.
It's one of my favorite things.
I
ever.
love it.
I hate Charlotte Flair so much.
Speaking of hating things, Adam, what do you think was the bad?
Probably an unpopular opinion, but I
Uh-oh.
thought the bad was the main event, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. It was slow. The whole match was so slow. From the promo package to start the program out to the time the bell rang in the ring was 17 minutes.
Insane.
17 minutes for them to get to the action.
Yeah.
And then the match was forever. Then there was, I guess, spoiler alert, everybody should have watched
Yeah.
it by now. Jimmy turns on Jay at the end, and that reveal took 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was...
I have a hoodie. I don't have a hoodie.
It was just too stretched out, so it was bad. The match, I mean, the action, the moves, everything was good. But just forever, I fast-forwarded parts.
Yeah. That's yeah, dude, that Bloodline story, I hate to say it, it's gotten a little stale.
It's... The in-ring is stale.
Yeah.
The drama behind the scenes and the talking back and forth, I love it. And the turning, but now you might have just turned too many people too many times.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's getting a little 2000 WCW on us.
NW Wolfpack. No, I'm original.
Who's
no.
the third member? I think the only way you can save this now is you have like the Bloodline guys. It's building up the Survivor Series
Yeah.
survival match.
Yeah.
Where like you have Jimmy, Roman, and Sikoa on one side, and then you have like Zayn, Owens, Jimmy on the other, or Jay on the other,
Yeah.
and then like get them each a couple more dudes.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just have, Jay go with Owens
Or,
and Sammy.
hear me out. The Bloodline just all gets back together and everyone's just like in submissive stance with Roman, and he makes them fight in Survivor Series.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's like I'm the tribal chief. I won. You do as I say. The reason why your brother turned on you is I made him do it because I'm trying to be creative on the creative team, right? So my bad, and it's because of my desires for things, was Seth Rollins going over on Finn Balor.
Well, yeah.
Because I wanted the priest turn, much like Io Sky cash in. I just really wanted to see Dissension and Judgment Day to start getting that kind of shook up a little bit too. So I really, because also too, like Seth Rollins they made it very clear in storyline telling that he's not going to fight Cody Rhodes again for the title. Thank goodness. Yeah. So having Finn Balor go over on Rollins, then have Priest go over on Balor to start a program with Balor and Priest would have been really cool. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. So that, to me, because of my personal desires, that's the bad for me.
I'm not totally against that. The result definitely was the bad for me, but the match was good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What about the ultimate, the botch? The worst thing you saw, the thing that made you wish you never turned on SummerSlam.
The Botch. We might be sharing opinions on this. I would be surprised if we're not. It would be the fourth match of the night, Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey in an MMA rules match.
The whole match.
And the problem was the MMA rules on a worked product just did not translate well. It never has. They've done this in many promotions, like a lot of times with Kurt. The only one I remember that was almost decent was Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle in TNA.
Oh yeah,
And it was still goofy ass shit.
That was as shoot as I've seen.
As you can see it.
Yeah.
And this match actually ended up being pretty shoot. Shayna Baszler's eye got jacked up in this match, and so did her arm.
Yeah.
Like there were injuries out of this, but you can't take it seriously, and you would never know that by watching it, because so much of it is worked, and it's just a slower pace than if you've ever watched an actual MMA fight. You're pissed because this is obviously worked, and if you're into pro wrestling, you're pissed because this is super slow and like super technical, and it's not what you're watching pro wrestling for. There's nobody that's a fan of this, and that's why it's a botch. They should have never had it as a match. The only positive out of it is Ronda Rousey's gone until
she decides to come back and make up $1 million.
Probably Mania. So.
Yeah. So I fully agree for every single reason that you said.
And it was good that they put Baszler over.
Yeah,
I think that
she
was
needed
positive.
to. Yeah, for sure. So Adam, let's go into some quick bits and bites before.
No, what's your botch?
Oh, I agree with you.
Oh, the same? Okay.
Yeah, for every single reason that you said.
I figured.
Yeah. We're going to have some quick bits and bites here. So a friend of the podcast, Mike Perry, signs a new multi-year deal with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Perry, who fizzled out in the UFC after having an explosive debut, he just kept getting his nose broken. He decided to go where he feels most at home. He's gone 3-0 under his initial contract with BKFC and is now known as a cornerstone in the locker room. He has signed a 6-figure contract, and he is there to stay.
Man, the cornerstone in the locker room is kind of shocking because he's a pretty polarizing guy.
He really is.
Happy to see he's doing good. I do think that's where he belongs. Controversial take on it for me, though, is I think he's already got some damage to his head that should be addressed, and maybe bare knuckle fighting's not the best. But I've seen hot takes where those UFC gloves aren't as protective as they appear to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he's taking less shots, bare knuckle. If he's throwing more and knocking guys out, just keep him safe. Mm-hmm. He's had a rough ride of his whole combat career.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is a turnaround. Maybe he's matured a little bit. And
I think so too. But I think if, having watched a couple bare knuckle fights, I don't like to watch too much because it's a little too, I won't say it's too much for me, but it's a lot, man.
In all fairness, and to support his 6-figure contract, the only cards I've watched are the 3 he's been on.
Yeah. I think there is this illusion that the MMA gloves give you protection. I think it's more to grab onto stuff. And if you watch how bare knuckle fighters guard their grill a little more, they're more selective with their punches.
Yeah.
So like critical shots are usually arranged around the average of 15.
It does get it's a little more paced. It's a little more like, I don't even want to say boxing paced because it depends on the style of the fighter. But if it's like it's more like an outside boxing match.
Yeah.
Like they're not getting inside and hockey fighting and throwing uppercuts too much. Like there's instances where they do, but it's definitely more of a defensive fighting style.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Adam, are you buying or selling this? Ben Askren thinks Jorge Masvidal is scared to run it back for a second fight.
Selling. Ben Askren's full of shit.
Ben Askren has a dad body just like me. I love him for that reason.
You're done,
but there's
Ben.
no fucking way Masvidal.
You're done, Ben.
You done, bud.
You're done. You should have stayed in Bellator.
Speaking of being done, last but not least, Jack Perry appears to be on a collision course with ECW alumni and started with RVD. Is this a good or bad way to get heat for Perry's new character?
They had a match Wednesday.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
RVD still has it, man.
He does, but I think this is a bad way to get heat for his new character because, like we said with the MMA fight, how many times has ECW been brought back?
To be a whipping boy.
To be, nobody, it's not over anymore.
No.
Like RVD as a person, fine. But if he's going to try to run the gambit of
he's going to land on
ECW
Taz.
originals, like it's going to be bad.
He's working towards Taz.
I still remember, again, Impact or TNA at the time brought back a bunch of ECW guys and they called it EV2.
I can't
So everybody would
believe
be like,
that.
EV dub because it sounded like EC dub. And I was just
not
lame.
the same.
Just lame.
Speaking,
bring back Raven, though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Bring back Raven. Yeah. Speaking of lame.
Go.
We have to break for commercials, Adam. Still hunting for sponsors. Don't got none. But
There ain't nothing lame about sponsoring our podcast.
Yeah. It's awesome. Caw.
Go.
But we do have great friends that support us, and we're going to hear from one of them right now. So we're going to see you on the other side.
Ghost Jewelry, where you at?
If you love talking blockbuster movies, comic books, animation, and TV shows, check out Talking SMAC, hosted by me, Josh Scar, along with my rotating cast of co-hosts. We will talk superheroes, movies, animation, and comics with you every Wednesday on your favorite podcatcher.
Welcome back, hopefully you heard something from our friends and you go check out their podcast. And when you check out their podcast, they'll say something nice about our podcast. You just keep coming back. We'll bounce it back and forth like a ping pong ball. And eventually we'll all go viral. We won't have to work our jobs anymore, and we'll be podcasters. So welcome back. It's round 3. We have another beer to sip on through the remainder of the show. So, Adam, you brought it to the show. It's round 3 beers. Put them all together. What do you call it? Round 3 beers.
Round 3 beers.
What are we drinking?
That IPA didn't affect me at all. We're actually going to share a beer from a brewery that opened while we were on hiatus.
Okay.
So this is Bonafide Beer Company. So they're in the Strip District, soon to be in Hazelwood as well. It's a good friend of mine. I don't know if he wants his name named, but he used to be at another brewery out in Butler. Came down and opened this with a business partner, and the beer's been great. And this is Bonafide Lager 4.8. It's an American lager through and through. I don't think you need to say any bells and whistles about it.
Ooh, sound effects. Yeah, this is exactly what you want it to be. This is a true American lager, but I will say that it has more of the care, like the love of the flavor profile, like fuzzy yellow beer has a fleeting kind of presence.
Fizzy yellow beer.
What did I
No
say?
beer should ever be fuzzy.
Ooh, no. That 9% is playing havoc on us, isn't it?
We're both right.
So, Bonafide, you made a hell of a lager here. I cannot wait to see. The lager's this good. Everything else must be a banger.
I've been there quite a few times. It's very close to the office for us. Well, we won't say where you work. It's close to the office for me.
It's downtown.
Yeah. So it's in the Strip District. But yeah, when I was in there picking this up, they have a wonderful Mexican lager on right now. Their stout is one of my favorite stouts in Pittsburgh. So get on there. It's very traditional styles. They do have a couple of hazies on here and there. It's very small batch right now, so the list is rotating a lot.
Oh, that's cool.
If you like that. But they have this lager and their IPA, which is like more of a West Coast traditional American IPA.
Cool.
That are in cans, I think almost always. And, that's kind of like their flagships right now. And they're both wonderful.
I also really like it's a 12-ounce can.
Yes.
It takes me back to my
and
college
they sell them in
years.
6-packs. So, yeah, you're getting traditional sixers there.
They're the only other place other than Connie Creek that I know sells the sweet sixer.
And very affordable.
Yeah.
Well, it's like normal 6-pack cost.
I love it. So if you want rotating beers, you want good flavors, you want good people, and you want to support small business, Bonafide's right down the Strip District. Go check them out.
Yeah.
And soon to be in Hazelwood.
You can learn the name of names when he comes on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll bring him on.
I don't
want
to throw him out there without asking.
It's a secret.
Yeah.
Shh.
But yeah, maybe a future guest.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. So, Adam,
Is it Dennis Guy?
No. Speaking of beers, Adam, 'tis the season. Every year around this time, local bars and college campuses start to construct their most coveted fall activity, the Beer Olympics. The problem is, though, you got to bring a squad that you can trust that will hold their own in the events to bring home the medal, or usually just a paid bar tab. But hey, your mom thinks you're a winner, and you better make an honest woman out of her, God damn it. So, challenge you.
I'm not a challenge already. It's only our second week back.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
To construct a team of real people, alive or dead, to bring to the local dive to smash the regulars in the first ever Jojitorium Beer Olympics. Are you prepared?
Sure. I'll try my best. I don't know why.
What?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What happened?
I'm ready. I'll pick your team apart as you say 'em.
What are you talking about?
It's fine. Nope, I'm ready.
What
I'm
are
ready.
you? What are you?
My team is constructed, and we're going to beat the brakes off you.
Okay, I'm not scared of you.
Beating the brakes off you.
All right. So, but first off, before we even start going here, let's name our countries, and then we'll say which events are going on, and then we'll go from there. So, Adam, what are you calling your country?
Me and my team will be representing the country of Oceania because we're bringing home the medal for Big Brother. The New World Order is coming to get you, brother.
I like it. My country is going to be called Evergreen Terrace because that's the that's your favorite band, Evergreen Terrace. Second to Avenged Sevenfold.
You're an ass.
Yeah, you like that, don't you, bitch?
Man, we're starting this off with Venom. That's fine.
That's okay. It's okay.
There ain't no putting the genie back in the bottle.
So, Adam, the common events here at Beer Olympics is beer pong, flip cup, volume chug, boat race, and the shotgun and run, which is like a shuttle. It's a 2-man shuttle run where you got the beer on each side, shotgun it, run to the other side,
Relay
tag
it.
apart. Yeah, it's quick, but hey man, you got shotgun a beer before you run.
I mean, I think everybody knows all of them. I didn't know boat race. Do you want to explain that one, or
Oh, yeah.
I can, or
Boat race is quintessentially just chug contest. So like you start with your first guy and you work your way around the table to your anchor, and then the anchor sends it back to the front.
oh, see, but you're missing a part.
What's that?
During the whole run,
Yeah.
the people that have empties have to keep it balanced on their head.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay.
So that played a big part in my
Oh,
team.
no.
Because I had never heard of the boat race before.
Yeah.
So I looked it up.
You have odd
Yeah,
job on your team, don't you?
Apparently, if the cup falls off your head, everybody has to stop until you
Put it back on.
put it back on your head. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's, you know what? Added
So, yeah.
elements.
Yeah,
So
yep.
the way I see this, Adam, is because beer pong, flip cup, volume chug, and shotgun and run only take one partner to do. So I would say let's make boat race the last one. That way your entire team has to line up for the boat race.
Okay.
Okay. So
And volume chug's like drinking like a pitcher all
it's
at once.
it's like
right?
one person. Yeah, just doing
Yeah.
a pitcher. Yeah.
Okay.
So
We're good on the rules
Yeah.
then. I wasn't sure about that one, but I
Yeah.
didn't look it up, but I figured that's what it was.
yeah, it kind of explains
But
itself.
then boat race I had no idea, so I
Yeah,
looked it up.
I've only played it once, and it's not fun. I don't like
I
it.
don't imagine.
I don't like. Other thing too, I want to ask you real quick. What kind of beer would you drink at this? It has to be something that's very.
I'd go to my tried and true
Yeah.
Icy Light Mango.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you'd pick Icy
Friend
Light
of the
Mango.
podcast.
Yeah, friend
Icy
of the
Light.
podcast. Icy Light. Yeah. Now friend of the podcast. We gained that sponsorship.
Yeah.
Little secret.
Sorry, hams.
Yeah.
Pay us.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say Icy Light Mango then across the board. 'Cause I can agree with that.
Okay.
I like that beer.
Cool.
All right. Cool. So Adam, I'll let you go first here, buddy. In the world of beer pong, who are you partnering up with?
Yeah, I mean, this was a given. No problem. And you're getting your butt whooped because I'm bringing Steph Curry to the table.
Steph fucking
I
Curry.
mean, NBA All-Star and has the highest all-time free throw percentage. So I think his just lends himself to beer pong.
I like your style, and I kind of went in the same vein as you.
I'm trying to win. I'm here to win.
I understand.
I'm
that.
not picking. Me and Mr. Curry will become friends.
Yeah.
I will have to reach out though. And
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to play
start the
it
communication.
real fucking cool
Right,
at the
right,
beginning.
right,
I'm actually gonna go in the same vein as you because, of course, beer pong is very reminiscent of basketball. So I'm gonna go with Phil Mickelson for my my beer pong partner.
Cool.
Because he knows how to get small balls into small holes. So I'm gonna go with
There you go.
with Phil Mickelson, and we're both left-handed when it comes to playing beer pong.
I'll even let him use a club because I think it would be fun to watch.
It would be fun. So I'm going to use Phil Mickelson because I think, first and foremost, too, hilarious to see like a team of like degenerates, and here comes Phil Mickelson, who my understanding is a sober guy.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird choice. I definitely would have.
So I'm definitely
Nicholas.
I'm gonna take Mickelson on this one. So Adam, let's move on to the game of Flip Cup. Flip Cup is pretty self-explanatory. It's a 2-man team. You have 2 cups in front of you, and what you do is you drink the half beer, and then you have to flip it from the edge of the table onto the other side of the cup, and then your partner goes, and while your partner goes, you fill your cup up and you run it back, and you both
as
have to
many
quit.
times as
Wherever
designated.
the rules are made.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
who are you going with for Flip Cup, sir?
So I actually care about my team. I initially went with Nita Strauss, who's one of the best female guitar players in the game.
I like that.
But I did some research on her because I care about her.
Yes.
And she's actually been sober for 6 years, so not going to put the pressure on her to perform.
Yeah.
I'm picking Lizzie Hale, though, from Hailstorm. to take her
Oh.
place. Probably the second best female guitar player because if you can work those quick fingers on the guitar neck,
Yeah.
it'll be ultra good finger ability on the flip
Yeah.
cups.
Can I just go back to the whole Phil Mickelson thing, by the way? He's not drinking the beers. He's just shooting the shots. And we're going to smoke you.
Oh, that's true. I guess that's not really a drinking one. But flip cup, you definitely have to drink.
Definitely.
So-
And for Flip Cup, I want to make sure that I bring someone who has a lot of experience with the use of their fingers. So this man has been an astronaut, a lawyer, a doctor, a school teacher, Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins will be my Flip Cup partner because if anyone can flip a cup, it's Johnny Sins.
I liked him best when he was a cop.
I like that too. But the thing is, you know what he's never been? A Beer Olympics champion until now.
Good father.
Oh, you're a terrible person. So, Adam, we are moving on to the volume chug. Who's going to drink?
That's not true. Just don't be a stepdaughter.
Who is going to be your mass chugger?
Easy, and I hope we don't overlap on this one.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's Joey Chestnut. Because I figure you can convert over his glizzy grounding power over to beer pounding so easily, and he will just down that shit. Because you might say, oh, Adam, glizzies are solids. They're food.
Yeah.
You see how much water he intakes with those
He
hot
does
dogs?
a lot.
He can do liquid just as well as solids, and I want him to take all of the liquid right to his mouth.
Jesus Christ, dude. You actually did take my pick. I wanted Joey Chestnut so bad because of
it's
volume
an easy
consumption.
pick.
That's really, really good. So we're doing Alive or Dead.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I can't do Alive or Dead?
No, you can do whatever
Okay.
you want.
Andre the fucking Giant.
Yeah, it's a great choice, except he's rotted away.
Okay, I'll pick a real person. Otis. I'm going to...
No, I'd like you to pick Andre the Giant because
No.
you will be useless in the rest of your events because you're going to have to dig him up.
No. You know what I'm going to pick? Very similar to
Or
him.
your shoveling skills.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be awesome, too. I'm going to take the Big Show. I'm going to take Paul White.
I bet you he doesn't drink anymore. He has abs.
He has abs, but, dude, he's so big.
Otis would be way more
He's
fun.
so big. He's so big.
Otis would be way more fun.
I think he would be, but I want to win, so I'm going to take Paul White.
Although he wouldn't be very good at the end in the shotgun and run.
No, he would not.
Actually, neither will Paul White. He's got the knock knees.
Well, I'm not picking him for my shotgun run, dude.
Yeah, but he's part of the team. Oh, no, he's part of the boat race. You're
Part of the
fine
boat
then.
race,
You're
yeah.
fine then.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fine.
So, speaking of the shotgun and run, buddy, you got to pick your partner for the shotgun and run.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Easy.
Who's that?
Usain Bolt.
God damn it! Stop it!
Usain Bolt. Why do you let me go first every time? You want it, Usain? I got to back up.
No, I got to back up too.
All right.
I got mine. But Usain Bolt is
The fastest man alive.
yeah, and then also the person
Probably also the fastest man of all time. If you want to try to pick a
Yeah.
dead person again
no. There's
for
no,
a drinking competition, I don't
I
know.
don't know who's be faster than him.
Zombie Andre's not.
So, but I'll pick mine. Can I pick? Can I pick?
Yeah, I'm just disgusted that you picked Zombie Andre.
I didn't pick Zombie Andre. I picked regular Andre the Giant, the guy who scared Val Venus. So for my shotgun run, I'm gonna pick DK Metcalf over at the. He was playing for the Seahawks.
Oh yeah.
One of the fastest receivers ever. At one point, he was highlighted running 21 miles per hour over. I think it was like 70 yards.
He was on my list.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take DK Metcalf.
I had Messi on my list too because he's a pretty fast. Like soccer
Oh
players,
yeah.
they have some speed.
So then, if we look at our boat
And he's in
race-
Miami now. It would be a cheap plane ticket. So
That is pretty good. Yeah,
you know the accountant in me needs
I know.
to think in currency.
So Adam, we're down to the boat race here, buddy, and our teams are looking pretty cool.
Yeah, but I mean, super dominant on my side.
Yeah.
Team Oceania is bringing this.
So what I would say is for your boat race, just
Big Brother's watching this.
we're
whole
just
thing
gonna
anyway,
put your name.
remotely.
We're gonna put your name there, and that's gonna be your team lineup. And now you got to try to figure out who's gonna lead it off and who's gonna be your anchor to run it back. So who's then your number one slot for your boat race?
You want me to go first? I don't want to steal your guy again.
You can't.
So with boat race being, especially for the first guy to keep his balance, so
Yeah.
we don't have to pause a bunch. My first dude's easy. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's got the balance of a god.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He could balance it on his head in a split.
So Jean-Claude
Van Damme.
Van Damme.
Yep.
I like that.
The whole fucking show.
I would say for my number one, I would have to go with, I don't know, Bert Kreischer, because he's a fucking alcoholic.
That's a good move.
Yeah, and he definitely has played this game a ton of times.
That's a good move.
So Burnt Crystals, I spell his name wrong even on the computer here. Bert Kreischer is my number one.
It autocorrects the crystals.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
Burnt Crystals. So who's your number two?
So the anchor?
Well, that's your anchor?
No. Jean-Claude's my starter.
Okay. And then we're doing the first person, we're tail ending, and then everybody else that we've already picked is in between.
So this is my tail end.
This is your tail end.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. John Stamos.
I also picked somebody way out of there.
John Stamos, because I just want to meet him. and he's got a good tail
You
end.
think this is the way?
And he's got a good tail end. Oh, I think this is the way.
It's like, hey, John.
We'll have a couple drinks together.
Are you trying to become best friends with John?
Lubricate the conversation. Yeah. Get to go watch the Beach Boys a couple times.
Do you think he can balance a cup on that quaff he has? On
Oh, totally. It'll just sink in.
Oh, that's true.
Just sink in, then you can Aquanet over it. I mean, that's Uncle Jesse level. I'm sure he's he's probably buying some good hairspray now.
Oh, no, dude, he made so much money as Uncle Jesse, though.
And the Rattlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I wanted to really knock your socks off with a big callback here.
But I just broke you with
No.
Uncle Jesse.
Happy birthday, James Vanderbeek. You are my anchor. It's the beak. He's making a return.
The beak is back. The beak is back. Man, I'm sure listeners, our fans out there, can't even tell we almost had a 10% beer in the first game.
So, Adam, we look at your team here. We have the likes of Steph Curry, Lizzie Hale, Joey Chestnut, John Claude Van Damme, John Stamos, Usain Bolt. And on my team, I have Phil Mickelson, Johnny Sins, Paul White, Burt Kreischer, James Vanderbeek, and DK Metcalf. I'm just going to throw out your team beats my team.
Yeah, man, because Mickelson still got to be in the shotgun or the boat race, and he's not.
And that's
drinking.
where I lost it. I didn't realize it until, because he's sober.
Yeah, you should have the big guy.
Who's that? Oh, the guy who looks like a fat Santa Claus.
Yeah, I love him.
Oh yeah,
but
dude.
I can't remember his name.
I
right
can't
now 'cause
either.
I'm fucking hammered.
It really hit you, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't eat today.
That's your problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat after the podcast.
So Adam, good job.
Jack Nicholas. No.
No.
Jack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Jack Nicholas?
I think so.
Well, while you look that up, I
Nicholson?
have to say no. Jack Nicholson is an actor.
Oh. Yeah.
So Oceana does take it home against Evergreen Terrace. However, Evergreen Terrace is playing a show in Pittsburgh. I know Adam has front row tickets. Adam, we are moving into your
Hold on, I'm Googling fat alcoholic golfer.
And
it came up.
Who's
John Daly.
John Daly.
Sorry, everybody. Not a big golf fan. But I literally Googled, well, it says Gilfer. But it was supposed to be golfer.
Gilfer's a new term that I'm going to roll with.
Apparently, John Daly is a fat alcoholic Gilfer.
That you'd like to bang.
But, dude, I'd love to drink beer with him.
He looks like he has a good time.
Oh.
He just
He
eats steak and drinks.
And never drinks water.
Yeah.
He's like, I drink Diet Coke.
That's what he said.
No
I
one
wanna
likes-
drink
Oh, my God.
Diet Cokes.
I should know his name because he's like
A hero.
hero of mine for all the wrong reasons.
Your liver's like, please stop liking these people.
He is proof that
Anybody could do it.
heart disease is cap.
It's straight cap.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no such thing.
Yeah. Unless he has like 40 stents in his heart, like there's no other way he's pulling that kind of game. Yeah, and he's like golf daddy too. Like everyone loves him. He gets on every single podcast.
He used to rock a bowl cut back when I rocked a bowl cut.
I
now,
see you.
now
like,
he
you're
looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah. Adam, we're to your favorite portion of the podcast. Questions from the internet.
It is my favorite until we get sponsors.
Yes, and then that'll be our favorite. Adam, what is your favorite wrestling video game?
Ooh, so it's a WWE one for sure. WrestleMania 2000 was good, but I think it'll be WWE. Was E or might still have been F, but SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain.
Oh yeah.
Was my favorite.
That was F. That was still F.
Yeah, there was the blood graphics on that one was
Really cool,
The
yeah.
like everything you can do in ladder matches was really cool. It was just fun to play, so
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
I'll say it's not my favorite, but the one I was addicted to was the Super Nintendo port, the Royal Rumble.
I played that one a lot.
You had a lot of really cool wrestlers. Bret Hart was still featured predominantly in that one. I like that one a lot. But to go back to when you said, WrestleMania 2000 for me was the best because the creative character was so, at the time, it was so well done.
Yeah, it took what I think is the most pivotal wrestling video game, which was this is super nerdy. I just said it was pivotal.
Yeah, I know.
In my life.
Keep going.
The WCW NWO Revenge.
Oh, no.
It took
pivotal,
that.
Pivotal.
It took that engine and just made it
Yeah,
better.
Pivotal.
Yeah. It's like the best version of that game.
Yeah, well,
there is.
because they left THQ for that one. They went to a different.
No.
Was it still
for,
THQ?
No, for WrestleMania 2000 it still was. But then
Okay.
they left for my pick,
Yeah. Okay.
which was fun for different reasons. But
Yeah.
that would be my number 2 for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So number 2 here, Matt doesn't think Deftones are new metal. Can he be trusted anymore?
From what I've seen from the fans, who I guess are too scared to come directly to you, no, you can't be trusted. They think you're an idiot.
I know. I've been fielding the vitriol. I think I just said on the first episode back that I had poor mental health, and that's why I took a break, and you guys are like, fuck it, get them.
I mean, you can't say just outright dumb stuff like that.
What? What did I say was dumb?
Their first 2 albums were new metal.
What? Deftones?
And that they were well, you didn't all. It wasn't even your take on if they were new metal. It was that you called them dumb tool or
a watered down tool. That's not an insult.
Man, yes it is.
No, it's not, because they weren't playing complex time signatures, but they were in that same like. What?
They also weren't as boring.
All I'm saying is you probably wear ICP face paint if you listen to Deftones. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not a juggalo, and I love the Deftones.
Whoop whoop, dude. We are juggalos. I can't be. I guess okay. In terms of like my like or dislike of Deftones, I can't be trusted if you have a varying opinion on it. But okay.
I don't know about your music taste in general.
Well, speaking of music tastes, thank
Sure.
you. Good segue into the last question
I didn't
here.
mean to feed to you.
Well, you did. Feed me. Feed me.
Feed me more.
We talked about the resurgence of metal, and people are now asking, do we have any music recommendations based on that claim? So metal, we talked about it was new metal, deathcore, melodic metal, math metal. We talked about a lot of different metal genres. Is there anybody that's on your radar right now that you've been kind of bumping a little bit?
Yeah, like new to the game, or
like
just
new
in
to
general?
you? Like
new to me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a list.
Okay,
I got a list.
go for it.
Lorna Shore is big, especially
Yeah.
for people that aren't into metal yet. Left to Suffer, Brand of Sacrifice is great. Johnny Booth, The Halo Effect, if you want some European stuff thrown in there, very good. Infant Annihilator, some of the best vocals ever.
Yeah.
Toad the Wet Sprocket, and Slaughter to Prevail.
Nice.
That's my list.
Good one. Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Could you even pick anything that I didn't have?
Yeah. Angel Maker.
Oh, shit, I did forget Angel Maker.
Angel Maker, Dealer, Anchor. Spite. Better Lovers, 100%. I just had them on before I came.
I do like Spite. I was actually listening to Spite.
Yeah, Spite's
on my
good
way
shit.
Here, yeah.
Everyone listens to Knock Loose, but if you're not, you should. I think they're fantastic. I think that might be it for me right now. If there's a bunch of new suggestions for you, and if you have any suggestions, you can just throw them our way. Slide into our DMs. But before you do that, you should definitely know what's on tap and where can you find us.
It's coming up.
It's behind us.
Son of a bitch.
We were at Barrel and Flow. You enjoyed us. You came through. You drank the beers, and now we're moving on to.
We have Dad Shoes on tap in the Jojitorium here, coming in at 5.5%. That's our lemon shandy. We may or probably won't have any Jojinator or Rasman, our collab
Rasman.
for Barrel and Flow. If you weren't at Barrel and Flow, you probably missed them. But listen next week to find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, where you can find us. Next is North Hills Homebrew Fest, like we said at the top of the podcast, August 26th at the Pittsburgh Shrine Center Pavilion in Cheswick, PA. And then following that up 2 weeks later, we're at Crush and Brew, September 9th, Old Economy Village in Ambridge, PA. And then at the end of October, October 28th, down at the Energy Innovation Center.
That's a hard one.
Got to take a breath there. Energy Innovation Center in Pittsburgh, PA, for Brewing for a Cause, benefiting Paws Across Pittsburgh.
That's a cool. That's definitely a cool organization.
Animals fucking rock.
They do.
Yeah.
Get a dog. Rescue a dog.
Get a dag.
Rescue a cat.
I like dags.
And if you know what's going on, I'm down here in the Brew Lab. It's at @bash_brewing, all social media, Facebook, Instagram, sometimes on X. If you want to go on the boys, we are at DWTB on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Threads, and YouTube, and whatever the hell else we try to throw our stuff onto. And you can definitely listen to our podcast on just about any single platform, except for I heard Podbean isn't carrying us anymore. I'm going to figure that shit out. So, so until next time.
Maybe not all things that start with pod.
But definitely don't end with bean. Love you, Hop Nation. So until next time, while I'm choking out Podbean to get our show on there, till next time, cheers.
Cheers. Big love out to Maui. Yeah, Yellow Bridge wants to freaking curb stomp you.
Bring it on.
Good
Justin.
fellow wants to make you a dead fellow.